In this video, we're gonna learn the full version of the chord C and then how to switch between C and A minor. Make sure that your guitar is tuned and that you have a pick, and we'll get started. Okay, so as you remember, and if you've been practicing, you know that the easy C is like this. Okay, you have your first and second finger on there in the first fret and the second fret, okay? So if you don't know that, make sure you go review in the easy C video. All right, now to do the full version of C, we just add our third finger, as you can see on the chord chart. We add our third finger in the third fret on the fifth string. So it's kind of a stretch. We're doing this diagonal chord, okay? Diagonal chords can be pretty challenging because when we do diagonal chords, our fingers tend to lay on the strings in a weird way that mutes them because our hands aren't used to doing this position. It's kind of an awkward position. So we want to make sure, as you can see here, like my finger is laying against the string and it is not coming out. My first finger is blocking the first string even though it's not supposed to be touching it. This is when the tips of the fingers become the most important, is when situations like this happen. We want to make sure we're pushing our fingers away and kind of getting those tips of the fingers on there. So each string, test each string out, is coming out. If you hear something weird, okay, that's the second string. Oh, look it, do you see? My first finger is on top of the fret right here, so we want to push it behind. Okay, there's going to be a bunch of different reasons why strings don't come out, but if they're not coming out, you're going to want to adjust accordingly, okay? So with the right hand, you play from the fifth string down. Playing from the sixth string down is not wrong either, though, because this note, when it's open, is the note E, and the note E is in the C chord, so it's not wrong. Technically, you could play all six strings, but sometimes when we play chords, we want the bass note to be so the bass note is the lowest sounding note of the chord. You want the bass note to be the name of the chord. So this is a C when you put your third finger on the third fret. This is a C. So that means the bass note, the lowest note, if you play from the fifth string down, is a C in the C chord. Now if you do here, from here down, that's an E. Now the E is the bass note, which is not wrong necessarily. Either way, technically the C chord is right when you play all six strings, but practicing from the fifth string down can be very beneficial for a lot of different songs. Building the chord backwards can be just very beneficial if you're having a hard time doing it the other way. So either way works. Okay, so let's go back and forth between A minor and C. So as you might remember from the previous lesson, and if you're practicing it, we have the A minor here. And I'll put the chord chart up there so you can adjust your fingers accordingly, putting your first finger and second finger and your third finger on there in the correct positions. All right, so we have our fingers in the correct positions, and if you don't remember A minor, make sure you go back to the previous video and learn all about it. A minor, the cool thing about A minor and C is switching between them is pretty easy. You have A minor, and all you have to do is move one finger, C. And see, the thing is though, your fingers kind of need to adjust. Did you see my fingers kind of move over? My fingers like adjusted to go over there to that C, but either way, you're only moving one finger to a different fret. All the other fingers stay on the same string, same fret. So A minor, you're moving your third finger to the fifth string in the third fret, moving it back. See how my other fingers just move along with it automatically? They're staying in the same fret, but sometimes you have to move it back or forward because to reach or to accommodate for other fingers' room. So let's try this. A minor, all six strings. We can go down, 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 and then C, down, 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 A minor, C. You can just go back and forth between C and A minor and really get how your fingers are supposed to be to get each note out. Make sure when you switch that each note is coming out clearly. If you hear a muted sound or a buzzing sound, find out where it's coming from, fix it, play the chord again, and then move back and forth again and make sure that they're coming out correctly. Start slow. You don't need to be in time right away. Just make sure you're getting those notes out at first. And then once you got them and you feel like you're switching back and forth and you're getting it pretty good, then you can focus on being in time and doing the practice video or practicing with a metronome.